His dear name. I'm not what I used to be. My life has been changed. Not shackled by sin and shame. It's already gone. I'm happy reminding Him it's under the blood. I'm happy reminding Him it's under the blood.
WPAE 89.7 FM Centerville, Mississippi, and KPAE 91.5 Irwinville, Louisiana. Today's Southern Gospel and the new Journey Radio Network.
It sticks closer than a brother, always patient, always kind, hopes all things, believes all things, quick to listen, slow to anger, overlooks each fault of mine. It never fails or right on time. Love don't run when the troubles come, and love don't stop till the battle's won. It stands and fights, lays down its life. Love don't keep a record of wrongs, and love never says you're too far gone. Though the world may turn away, it won't. Love don't. It'll dare to go the distance, always goes the extra mile. No bounds, won't back down. Nothing here can separate us. when the troubles come. And love don't stop till the battle's won. It stands and fights, lays down its life. Love don't keep a record of wrongs. And love never says you're too far gone. Though the world may turn away, it won't. Love don't. It ain't proud, no, it ain't easily angered. It's always for you, always on your side. It never gives up, it's never not enough. Yeah, I can testify. Love don't run when the troubles come. And love don't stop till the battle's won. It stands and fights, lays down its life. Love don't keep a record of wrongs. And love never says you're too far gone. Though the world may turn away, it won't. Love don't run when the troubles come. And love don't stop till the battle's won. Love don't keep a record of wrongs. And love never says you're too far gone. Love don't run when the troubles come. And love don't stop till the battle's won. Love don't keep a record of wrongs. And love never says you're too far gone. Love don't.
And sorrow in that wonderful place. I'll leave here with a shout on that glorious day. My feet are gonna leave the ground when the trumpet sounds. When the trumpet sounds, my feet are gonna leave the ground. We'll walk on streets of gold. The half has never been told. The clouds are gonna roll away. My feet are gonna leave the ground when the trumpet sounds. I'm headed for a land of sunshine, a land of no more night, no more gloomy darkness. Jesus will be the light. I'll rest at his feet in that city of joy and peace. My feet are gonna leave the ground when the trumpet sounds. When the trumpet sounds, my feet are gonna leave the ground. We'll walk on streets of gold. The half has never been told. The clouds are gonna roll away, and I'm going home to stay. My feet are gonna leave the ground when the trumpet sounds. My feet are gonna leave the ground. I'll be heaven bound. My feet are gonna leave the ground when the trumpet sounds.
It is the Midday Café. I believe Gabriel is warming his lips up, tuning up the horn. I believe that trumpet is going to sound before all is said and done. Well, good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. Glad to have you along for the Midday Cafe. As you saw, if you were watching online, you actually saw me on the phone, and it's been that kind of a morning. It's been one of those mornings to where, you know, you've heard of the old expression of reach out and touch someone. Well, everybody's been trying to reach out and touch me. And so it's been a good morning. It's been an active morning. It's been a productive morning. And glad that we are here. I am so looking forward to talking with Terry Kanipe at lunchtime. He's going to be calling in here in just a little bit, as we are going to have some great conversation talking about the Singing Epps, their music, their ministry, and everything going on. So you've tuned in to the right place for the right time, and you need to go ahead and get online and share this with everybody. and let them know. And to everybody that's been saying hello to me and I have not responded yet, I see that. So hello, good afternoon, welcome. Glad to have you all here. And make sure you get it shared, and let's get back to the music. And then coming up, it's going to be Terry Kanipe.
Serving up the best in today's Southern Gospel music.
Some may wonder, where is this God of Israel? They say we've never seen him, so how are we to know? Just take a look at this holy road I'm traveling. You will see a mighty God everywhere I go. He's in the eye of my storm, the bottom of my ocean, the morning and the midnight, and every wind that blows. On the top of my mountain, lowest of my valleys, where is God? He's everywhere I go. Children found him in a fiery furnace. Bartimaeus found him on the road to Jericho. Paul and Silas found him in a dark old dungeon. Wherever we are, that's where God will go. He's in the eye of my storm, the bottom of my ocean, the morning and the midnight, and every wind that blows. On the top of my mountain, the lowest of my valleys, where is God? He's everywhere I go. He's in the eye of my storm, the bottom of my ocean, the morning and the midnight, and every wind that blows. On the top of my mountain, the lowest of my valleys, where is God? He's everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. He's everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. He's everywhere I go.
Because of God's radical grace for us,
We can risk living a life of radical obedience for Him.
this is 89.7 and 91.5 Sound Radio, home of today's Southern Gospel.
Here's a letter to a soldier that's been fighting for so long. You fear the enemy will overtake you because his forces seem so strong. And I hear you're a little weary, that your faith it needs to build, but you're not on the devil's playground. Child, you're on God's battlefield. Be encouraged, weary soldier. Christ is right there by your side. His promise never to forsake you, that he'll always be your guide. His angels charged to protect you, your every need he'll surely feel. You're not on the devil's playground, child, you're on God's battlefield. I hear old Satan comes against you. He pushes and he shoves, and it seems no one can stop him, because this bullet, well, he's a little tough. But know that God is right there with you, so don't let him break your you're not on that devil's playground, child, you're on God's battlefield. Be encouraged, weary soldier, Christ is right there by your side. His promise never to forsake, that he'll always be your guide. His angels charged to protect you, your every need he'll surely fill. You're not on the devil's playground, child, you're on God's battlefield. Now on Satan's turf, he'll try to cheat you. He will steal and he will kill. But this bully is defeated when you take that fight to Calvary's hill. His angels charged to protect you, so your mission you must fulfill. 'Cause you're not on the devil's playground, child, you're on God's battlefield. No, you're not on the devil's playground, child, you're on God's battlefield.
It is the Midday Cafe. Great song from a great group, the Singing Epps, God's Battlefield. And that is, this is one of these things where I kind of put you on the cutting edge because they haven't released that song yet. And I kind of jumped the gun. So, Terry, please forgive me.
Oh, that's fine. We don't care.
It's one of those things to where the music is too good not to release it, I mean,
that's right.
you got to go ahead and just put it out there because the project that you've got out there, God's Battlefield, is just a great project. You guys did a great job with it. So my hat's off to you and kudos, my friend.
Well, we appreciate that. Jonathan Goodwin from Redemption World Records there in Nashville produced that for us.
Well,
we had some really good pickers on there too. Kelly Back and Gary Prim, let's see, Duncan Mullins, Joel Key, Scott Sanders, I think was on there, was a steel. Many of them. Steve Brewster, that's right, because we did some of the tracks in his house. But anyway, got a really, they did a really good job, and we were. They had to work hard to make us sound good, so we appreciated it.
Well, I don't imagine they had to work too hard to do that. I mean, it was a great song, a great project. So, I mean, great job. So, okay, we need to clear up something here because I have been saying Kanipe for forever. So I've been using the French version of your name, and you told me because I asked you, you said it's Kanipe.
That's correct. That's correct.
So it's kind of like, when I talk with Carol Barham, I used to call her Barham. And it's kind of like, you know what? Okay, I'm just going to start calling everybody by their first name just because it's going to be easier that way.
There you go.
That way it's just
hey,
kind of...
I didn't know it was Barham either. I always called it Barham.
Okay, Carol. So, Carol, I'm not the only one. So, maybe the Lord's trying to tell you something there. I don't know. No, Carol.
I know the name of one person anyway. She lives over in San Antonio way. Big fan of Midday Cafe, I know, and a fan of the Epps family too. And her name's Tina Brewster. I know how to do that one.
Oh yeah, Tina Brewster. Yeah, Tina Brewster. She's online with us, and she's already over in our chat room. So we all know Tina Brewster. And she's in here. She's in here every Midday Cafe, and just glad to have her here. So let's talk about the Epps family. You guys are celebrating 6 decades of ministry.
That's correct.
That's impressive there, my friend. Give us a background. What have you seen? Well, I know you haven't been there the entire 61 years, but what have you seen over the course of the transition of Southern Gospel from when they started back in, when they started to where we are now? I mean, give us a little background on that.
Steve, I usually tell people, if you don't want my opinion, don't ask for it.
Amen. I'm right there with you on that one, bud. I get in more trouble that way.
Yeah, me too.
It's kind of like foot and mouth disease, isn't that what they call it?
But I'm the assistant pastor at our church, and my pastor always tells me, he said, Terry, you got to be sweet, brother Terry, be sweet. So, I'm one of them that, I just tell it like it is most of the time, or at least how I see that it is.
Yeah, so
you're not always correct.
Yeah,
but
you're a straight shooter.
Yeah, I a lot of from the time, I tell you what, Steve, now back, and I listened to a lot of the recordings from back when the Epps family first started recording in the late 60s, early 70s. And now my father-in-law was a Henson fan to the core. In fact, the whole family was Henson fans to the core. So, and the Happy Goodmans and Rambos, and they like that sound right there. They never was, I guess, real big on the what traditionally Southern Gospel was, which was 4-part, almost like barbershop quartet.
Yeah.
Type stuff, but they were more into the family gospel, like Spears and stuff like that. But I have seen it. The only thing is, Steve, it seems that it's trying to take on a whole different aspect as far as moving more contemporary. And I just, that's just not me. Now, I'm not dogging it, not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that you're not going to hear that sound out of the Epps family, because we just can't do it. It's not us, So,
yeah.
You can take a greyhound to a poodle show, and he's just not going to win, no matter how good a greyhound is.
I got to write that one down. That's good.
I just made that up.
Yeah, well, you need greyhound to a poodle show. Oh, that's rich. Oh man. I just totally lost my train of thought. My train just got derailed.
What we really enjoy is that anointed sound.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess not and who am I to say what's anointed and what's not, other than the fact that, when it resonates with you and it moves you, I listen to today, and not trying to pin no feathers on nobody, but, well, I guess it is, but I was listening, I saw a post from, I think it was Kelly Bolin had made the post. And I saw the post, and she was just kind of reminiscing that where her girls was learning the song Through the Fire, and the way that reason that they decided they wanted to try to learn that song was simply because of the history behind it and how it affected the Crabb family.
Right.
And she had posted a video of when they did it at the Dove Awards that first time. And you know what? I felt the Spirit of God watching the video. There's just some songs and some, that God has really put his hand on. And, and I believe that's one of them. But anyhow, that's the stuff that moves me. If it's God moving in me, I can work with that.
Yeah. And it seems to be that I was talking with someone last week. It seems that you're beginning to see a lot more of the artists that are incorporating a lot of what I would call the foundational songs. A lot of hymns are coming back.
Well, yeah, and that's good.
Yeah. I was,
that's great.
It's like yesterday we were, I do all of our media and everything at our church, sound and all that kind of fun stuff. And,
right.
If it's one of those Sundays to where if it was going to go wrong, it did. And yesterday, our computer, our primary computer that does all of our graphics on the screens and all that kind of fun stuff just crashed. right in the middle of service, crashed. And the pastor prayed right before the service and said, we know there's going to be a distraction. Well, little did we know, that I was going to be scrambling. But all that being said, I looked at our praise and worship leader, and I looked at him. I said, "You may have to do something out of the hymn book." And he goes, what? The hymn what? And I'm going, you've never sung out of a hymn book, knowing that he's just a little over 20 years old, very anointed, very, very good. But it's like when I looked at him and said hymn book, I said, what? You never had somebody say, turn to page 356. We're going to sing the first, second, and fourth verse. The third verse always got left out. Yeah. So you start to see hymn books that are the old hymns that are starting to come back in the music, and I think that is great. I love that.
I do too. Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's how can you top Amazing Grace, so sweet the sound?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you can sing that at the CMT Awards, and have everybody on their feet raising their hands.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if the power of God had swept that building?
That's right.
If the power of God had swept that building, how country music would be instantly turned?
Yep, sure would.
Wow. Yeah. You can't top Amazing Grace.
No. Or I remember, a few years back, Carrie Underwood doing How Great Thou Art.
Yeah.
And I've seen the people in the audience with their hands raised at a country music event,
Yeah.
And so the old songs are still, you what a friend we have in Jesus. I think I play that almost every Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm our excuse for a piano player there. Notice I did not say a pianist. I'm the piano banger, really. I just bang on that thing. But I like blues,
Yeah.
So I turn all the hymns into blues songs. If I'm playing guitar, I'm doing blues riffs in there. I like that kind of sound, I'm from the 70s, I was. And I was born in 1960, so I guess that tells you how old I am.
Welcome to my world, there, my friend.
Yeah, and so I like that old. I like to do like Travis Tritt said, put some drive in your country. We put drive in the gospel. If it ain't got no drive in it, I ain't singing it. That's just the way it is.
So, how would you put a blues riff in the song "In the Garden"? You're gonna have to sit down and play that one. If you can figure it out, you got to send it to me.
I'm sure I could probably figure it out. You talking about I Come to the Garden?
Yeah.
Alone? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can blues that up real good.
Yeah, I can imagine you could.
I throw my Joe Cocker voice in there,
Yeah. Okay, folks, coming to a church near you, it's the Singing Epps Family, the blues version.
Yeah, the blues version.
Wow.
Of course, if Wanda hears this, I'm in trouble, but
Yeah, well, somebody posted a comment just a minute ago and said, yeah, Wanda probably keeps you in check.
Yeah, she does.
Well, she's not there with you, is she? She's probably.
Oh, no. I was trying to get her. No, I'm at work, but I tried to three-way call her, but she didn't answer. So
yeah, well, there you go.
Because I know you talked about the new song "Heaven" that we just released, and Wanda actually was the one that wrote that song.
Really?
But I've got a little bit of the history on it. Now, I guess about 70% of that new album that we got is our stuff. It's we either wrote it or co-wrote it together. Wanda and I co-wrote a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like God's Battlefield, I wrote that song.
Wow.
In fact, but Wanda entitled it.
Wow.
Because, I wanted to call it The Devil's Playground.
Well, Wanda, we thank you for changing the title.
Yeah, but she changed the title.
Yeah,
especially if it's going to be the title of the project, it's going to be God's Battlefield. I said, okay.
Yeah, Devil's Playground. That probably would have wound up on the rock and roll chart somewhere.
Yeah. She said it's going to send the wrong message. Don't do that.
Yeah, well, it might have worked out. Send it over to the rock and roll version and name it that and have them listen to it.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened.
I told her, I said, it's got the lyric in there. You're not on the devil's playground. You're on God's battlefield. But anyhow.
Wow. Yeah. Well, Wanda, we thank you for that one. Although I think you ought to release it under a private, independent title.
Yeah.
and just see what happens. So let's see here. You're married to Wanda, and
I am.
Angela is your sister-in-law, Wanda's sister, but Angela is married to your brother. Did I get that
Correct.
right?
That's it. That's correct.
You sure you're not from Arkansas?
No, West Virginia. No, I'm just kidding. I'll get in trouble again.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. So you guys are keeping it all in the family. So what's it like? I guess, you're definitely a close-knit family.
Yeah, we are. We're very close. And I tell everybody, that next to Wanda, other than the Lord, of course, next to Wanda, Angela's my best friend. She's not only, because we're together all the time.
Right.
On the road or at church or yes, Saturday we went to this place called Fields of the Woods. I don't know if you ever heard of that down there.
Never have.
But have you? No.
Nope, never
Well,
have.
it's up. You've heard of Murphy, North Carolina, I'm sure, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's where that crazy bomber fella was up out there.
Yeah.
Back in the 2000 or so, somewhere in that area, 90
Right.
something.
Yeah.
But anyhow, 98, I believe it was, wasn't it? But anyhow, it's up there, and it's where the Church of God or Church of God Prophecy, one of the two. I think it's Church of God. But anyway, that's where it first formed up there.
Oh, wow.
At a camp out there. Anyway, they've got all kinds of things up there. They going up one side of the mountain is they have the 10 Commandments and in a big display, and you got to climb about 10,000 steps to get up to the top of it.
Wow.
And
That's
then on the other side it's a prayer garden, and then it's there's an altar there where the first pastor, and I can't think of his name now, Tomlinson, I think. But anyway, he went up there to pray to seek God's will for whether or not he was to pastor the first church or whatever. So
right.
anyway, it's a pretty interesting place. But we took off and went all up there last Saturday because we was off this past weekend. Well, what we do, we work in the church now, so we quit traveling as much. We cut our dates so that we can work in the church. Like I said, I'm the assistant pastor. Wanda's the everything girl there.
Yeah.
Just about. She plans all the events and does all the music coordination and all that stuff. And Angela, she's in charge of children's church and bulletins and all this other stuff. So we work hard in our local church as well. So we quit. Well, we haven't quit, but we slowed down our traveling dates a lot.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you how that worked because I saw where you were the associate pastor and how you guys were all involved in ministry at your local church, and I was wondering how were you guys able to straddle the two between working on working at the church and also going out and singing at other churches. How has that worked out?
It's worked well. God, Wanda and the Lord, I reckon.
Yeah.
But anyway, they plan it well. But no, she listens. She's up early in the morning every morning. The first thing she's doing is she's doing her devotion and studying, and then she goes right to work. On the computer there in the office and doing all the Epps family work stuff, and then doing all the church families work stuff. And anyhow, it seems to work out pretty well. All I do is just wait for her to tell me where I go.
Yeah. You just kind of say like point the way and I'm there, right?
What's my plan this week, baby?
Yeah.
She said, well, the pastor said you're preaching Sunday morning. I said, okay, no problem. And then or whatever,
Yeah.
So anyhow,
Oh my!
I'll let her do my scheduling. She don't know it. She thinks I do all the hard work, and I know who does all the work.
There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. My wife does the same thing. She, she tells me to jump, and I just say how high on the way up. That way
That's
it's just
right.
easier said than done. I don't have to worry about second guessing her. So the latest project that you guys just put together, when is another project coming out?
Well, the producer's really trying. He's been at us for a while to try to get us to do another one. But I'm waiting. I think I'm going to wait until this fall and then we'll go back into the studio this fall and hopefully have a new release out probably midwinter, maybe February or March.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts right now. We haven't set anything in stone. I'm kind of waiting, waiting on see what the Lord wants to do as well, and this and that.
Yeah.
And of course, there's always the financial side of that coin as well.
Right.
You know, regardless of what anybody ever tells anybody, those projects ain't cheap.
No, they're not. They're not. It's I made the statement to somebody earlier today that artists have so many things that they have to contend with, between having to do projects, having to get gasoline to go from one place to another,
right.
and all of these things. That's why we, and I mean we as in radio announcers and radio stations, that's why we need to support you guys, because y'all have to front a lot of money to make this happen, to fulfill the ministry that God has called you into. And
it's crazy how much projects are these days, but and I don't see why the cost is as high as it is, but I have a portable building business. In fact,
wow.
I'm sitting in my chair behind the desk with my feet on it, talking. But
there you go. Good to be the boss.
Yeah. I gotta go cut the grass in a minute, though.
Uh-oh.
and do all the rest of the maintenance around here because I can't afford to hire anybody.
Yeah.
But
well,
anyhow,
how long do you need me to keep you on the air?
Oh, that's all right. All day. But it's the same thing. People come in and talk to me about these buildings, and I'm trying to figure out a way to justify the cost now, because they've shot up so high because of lumber prices and and metal prices and gasoline prices and all these other things, and people don't understand it. And it's the same way, I guess when go to recording, I don't understand why it's if you spend $25,000 on a recording, you got out lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
I know I've got friends of mine in the industry. I can't spend that much, but I've got friends of mine in the industry. I know that one of their last albums was $60,000.
Wow.
And I just, I don't see how they ever recoup the money. But I know, especially with CD sales, that doesn't. Most people buy CDs out of sympathy now.
Yeah.
Well, because most cars, a lot of the new cars these days don't even have a CD player in them.
Yeah, no, it's all social, not social, but it's all the MP3 downloads through
right,
Pandora, USBs or whatever. Yeah, satellite radio.
Yeah, and when I'm advertising our stuff, I tell them, I say, you can buy it on iTunes or get it on Apple Music or you can go to Spotify and listen to it for free, which I usually cut my throat on that one. But but we're not. But the Epps family has always been like this, and I don't. This is not trying to speak. Any kind of derogatory incantation. Anything words, there we go. We'll just use a
there you
word.
go. There you go.
Instead of me trying to say a word I can't use spell. But anyway, but we've never used the gospel to make money. Okay.
Yeah.
That's basically what I'm saying, for our livelihood.
Yeah.
We've not had to. We've been blessed. Through different businesses or whatever. I've worked. I was in floor covering for 30 years or more.
Wow.
But we've always been able to, not have to put a price on it. And unless it's a promoter that's making a bunch of money.
Right.
But most of them ain't making none either,
Yeah.
But anyhow, not these days, because people just don't want to. There's a lot of folks that don't want to pay the ticket price, and I understand. I understand the cost.
Right.
We don't even drive. We don't drive a bus no more. I have an RV now. But the reason behind that is because diesel is so is incredibly high.
Yeah.
The gas is bad enough, but diesel's even worse.
Yeah.
And the bus gets less mileage, not much less than an RV, but it does get less mileage. So it's just more economical for us and to travel in the RV.
Right.
But we still, we offer the CDs, but we don't use it to try to make the money off of it. So basically what I'm saying is if we do a project, it usually comes out of pocket.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but we are in the planning station, and we're still writing to see and trying to figure which songs we're going to put on the next one as well.
Yeah. Well, that's great. So what does the future hold for the Singing Epps?
Oh man, I see Grammy Awards.
Go for it. Grammys, a few Dove Awards, an Academy Award or two.
Yeah, you know what Matthew Browder said, if you're going to dream big.
There you go. Go big or go home. I'm telling you.
No, I tell you, our goal, and this is the honest truth, Steve, our goal is to see the lost saved and to encourage the church and to try to get them to where they need to be. I'm so afraid these days of the 10 virgin parable, that 5 were ready.
Yeah.
When they cried that the bridegroom's coming, 5 of them got up and was ready. 5 of them, their oil was getting low and they wasn't gonna have enough. And that's the way a lot of folks are right now.
Yeah.
That they're just not on. And it doesn't seem like even the pandemic has brought folks any closer to as far as a mass. Brought them any closer to God.
Yeah.
And I would have thought, man, the pandemic, buddy, that's going to bring them. Shoot, now they just, now they'd rather sit home and watch something on YouTube,
Yeah.
or on Facebook, watch it Facebook Live or something, then go out. But the Bible is pretty plain on when Paul said, forsake not the assembling of yourselves together, even more
right.
if you see the day approaching. And he was pretty serious when he told the Romans when he said, I'm begging you. He said, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. But no, even the pandemic hasn't. I'm really praying and hoping that folks like you, that are doing the ministry over the airwaves and and I know too over the internet and everything is hopefully catching people's attention enough that they'll say, listen, we need to get on fire for God because he's coming.
That's right.
People I don't think people realize how close we are. And I know we've been hearing it for years, but good gracious, even if it's not true, we want to go closer than we was yesterday.
That's right. That's right.
And we're close, and I'm sure, just like myself, that you have people that you know of, even possibly family members, loved ones, friends, that don't know the Lord.
Yeah.
And that we need to be on fire for that, and that's we have been doing lately. God's been opening some doors in some crazy places. For us anyway. But we've been doing auctions, and every time, and auctions is a cool place to go, man, because that ain't the church crowd, buddy.
That's right. That's right. You got that right.
Reason.
Yeah.
They there for another reason. They ain't getting, and none of them come there for church, But we have yet to, every time we go, we're seeing folks saved.
Wow.
And hey, man, I tell you what, that excites me.
Yeah.
That excites me.
Well, that's why the Bible says go into all the world.
That's right.
G-O. Other words, get out.
That's right.
Go into all the world. And, a lot of churches, and I've made this statement several times, and those who listen to me on a regular basis, they'll hear me say, the churches nowadays have the mentality of if you build it, they will come. And that's not the way this works. That's the reason why God said to go, get out into all of the world. So going to the auctions, that's phenomenal.
Yeah. And we're it's starting to open up in a lot of, I guess there's 7 or 8 different auctions that are calling us and wanting us to come. Won't you come? Please come. Hey, they ain't no lot of money in it, but I don't care. I'll pay to. I'm not kidding. I will pay to go to see folks saved.
Right.
that there's nothing that excites me more and that fills my heart with joy more than seeing somebody come to Christ. There's nothing.
Amen.
And that's the way that it should be for every artist that's in this field. Now I know that it's not. I'm not no fool. I know that there's folks that's that's singing gospel music that's as lost as yesterday's lunch.
Yeah.
I know that, and it breaks my heart, because then people see a lie. Once they find out, they're thinking, well, man, he just lied or she just lied. I had some faith in them. I had confidence in them, and look what's they're no better than the world. Then that's what people see. But I think it's time for gospel music artists, and I don't care what genre they're in, but gospel music artists to wake up and smell the coffee.
Yeah.
And say, hey, you know what? I'm not representing myself. I'm representing Jesus Christ.
That's right.
I'm representing the gospel. It's not about me. It's about Him. And if I'm living like the devil and I ain't fooling nobody. You know what? They ain't nobody fooling. You're not gonna fool them long anyway.
That's right. That's exactly right. Wow. So there's your sermon for Sunday, my friend.
Yeah.
You may have already preached it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I preach them all the time. Most time to myself. Hey, I got terrible temper sometimes, Steve. I just do. I was in the military for 10 years.
Oh, thank you for your service.
Thank you. Seven of those years was Special Forces, and I still have a lot of fight in me.
Right.
As far as when things upset me, And I had to check. In fact, this is terrible. I hate this confession is good for the soul thing, but anyhow, I had to check myself last night. I pulled in. We went through a McDonald's drive-through, and the thing of it is I had this little boy that was with me. Okay, now this little boy, his situation is that his mother died a couple of years ago of an overdose. Okay, and his dad is now went through rehab and he's doing well and he's in church constantly. But anyway, the boy is still, he still had some suffering effects from all that.
Right.
And anyway, he was staying the night with us last night, and we swung into McDonald's after church. After church, I mind you, after church. And after a great service at church, mind you, all right, that's when the devil likes to work at you best.
Of course.
But anyhow, and I almost failed that test, buddy. But anyhow, we pulled in drive-through, and it was a big order, and this little boy wanted 2 double cheeseburgers and McNuggets and fries and a drink. And 10 years old, and the boy put them away before we got to the house.
Wow.
Wow. Order, right? Anyhow, so Wanda was checking it, make sure that they got the order right before I pulled off and drove 5 miles out of town and had to come all the way back. So anyway, I pull into a parking place. Well, I look behind me to back out. But just as I was backing out, this guy comes he's in a pickup truck and he's flying through the parking lot up to the drive-through. And I almost hit him, or he almost hit me. However, anyway, the windows are still down from the drive-through order. Yeah. Anyway, I just hollered out the window, "You need to slow your roll." Well, he stopped. He was going to roll down his window. Wanda just said, "Honey, don't."
Yeah.
I had to check myself because I told her, I said, "Honey, he don't know who he's
Go over and lay holy hands on him.
I know he don't, but let's just go. Don't do it."
Wow.
And then I had to think, wait a minute, you got that little boy behind you, goofball.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're his assistant pastor. What are you doing?
Oh man,
Sometimes we just need to constantly keep looking in the mirror, so that we are the examples that we need to be for God.
Amen.
We ain't no show to get up there. I realize I ain't no dummy. I realize that there is a good deal of entertainment within Southern gospel music. Even when you go into church, there's people come to be sometimes entertained.
Yeah.
But if you ain't got it right with God, and you get to the ministry part, I have seen some groups where one person is sincere. I can see that. And I used to call this thing my baloney detector until I found out there was this thing they called the gift of discernment.
Yep.
Anyway, I can generally tell pretty. I'm a good judge of character, and I usually tell pretty quick if somebody is on the up and up or not. Anyhow, I can. Someone will be doing the ministry part of a program, and I'll see one of a group once in a while. No special group per se.
Yeah.
I probably could name some, but I'm not. But anyway, I'll see them. They'll just hold their head down, look over to the side, throw their eyes a different direction, don't want to look at nobody, and I'm thinking right there, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
There's a problem there somewhere, whether it's with, his lifestyle, or whether it's he's worried about somebody else, or not making a judgment call, just the fact that that it's obvious that there's something wrong, And I believe that when we get on that stage, we need to have everything under the blood.
Yep.
We need to, and we need to be. You know what song that we open up with now? Our song that I just pull out. Break out my guitar, and we open up with "Let My Life Be a Light."
Wow.
The old hymn,
Yep.
You remember that old song? "Let my life be a light, shining out through the night."
Yep.
Let me help struggling ones to the fold. That's the way we open up. And the second song I open up with, still with a guitar, is "I want my Lord to be satisfied with me."
Yeah.
And we try to start folks right away, coming to look in a mirror right away, and saying, how am I looking with the Lord right now, before we go into entertainment, and trying to, and try to show how good Wanda can sing, and all that other good stuff. Which she can.
Yeah.
But she can wail. But before we do that, we try to start our I say program, but you know what I mean. We start off with singing those two songs to give folks the option right then. Hey, I need to check and see where I'm at with the Lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before we go even any further. And a lot of times during the service, I'll ask them right off the bat, before we get started. I'll say, hey, I need to see who I'm singing to today. How many of y'all saved?
Yeah. Yeah.
I put them right on the spot, which I don't have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But,
I can tell you're
I'm
just a straight shooter.
Yes, sir. I try to. You gotta. This time's too short, man.
Yeah.
I like to cut up and play with just like everybody else. But we got to be serious too.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got to make sure that our life is right.
That's right. I've made the statement many a times. We're watching the Bible play out in real time. We're watching Bible prophecy just play out right before our very eyes, and
absolutely. People some just don't see it, and it's happening.
Yeah, it is. And if they can't see it, then they may wake up too late. Better wake up now.
Just think with Israel and Palestine over there. I mean, it's real, and people just not catching it.
That's right. Well, Terry, don't run off. Don't hang up just yet, because I want to talk to you off the air. But I want to tell you, it has been a joy having you on the air with me, because I gotta keep us legal.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's amazing how the government likes that.
I know that's crazy. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But and I'm sure you and I could probably have a really great conversation about politics, but we're not going to go there.
Yeah.
But anyways, I want to thank you so much for coming on the air. And where can everybody find more information about the Epps family? Where can they find you?
Well, Wanda just built a new site for us. We had a site, but well, it's a long story. But anyhow, she just built a new site. So it's the singingepsfamily.com. I know that is one. And I'm thinking that it's up running now.
It is.
I know she finished building it went Friday, I think.
Yeah.
Or Saturday maybe. But no, it's Friday because we went to Saturday. But and then or you can hit us on the Facebook page, which is the Epps family, or Wanda's page, Wanda Epps Kanipe, or mine, which is Terry, not Epps Kanipe. No, it's Terry Kanipe. But anyway, or you can, and like I said, music you can find on Apple Music or iTunes or Spotify, or better yet, just listen to Steve Woodham's Midday Café.
Wow. Well, thank you.
There you go.
I'm glad I recorded that because I can use that.
There you go.
So, wow.
But anyway, or you can give us a call at I can't never remember Wanda's number. Wanda's number in my phone is under my baby. But anyway, and I can't remember the numbers too good. So you might want to not put my baby under yours. But anyhow, but my number is 864-569-4344.
There you go. You may have the phone ringing off the hook.
That's all right. It rings off the hook anyway. So if you don't get me, throw a message at me.
There you go. There you go.
My name's plastered all over the place around here, and my number rather.
Yeah.
Is plastered all around here, and so everybody's always calling me about these buildings. I wish they'd call more because I need to sell more. But anyway.
I heard that. I wish you were down here. My wife needs one.
Here's the. Well, I know we got to go.
Yeah.
We'll talk commercial later.
Yeah, we'll talk commercial later. So anyway, Terry, it has been an honor, my friend. Don't hang up just yet. Don't want to talk to you off the air. But we're gonna go out of here with their latest single, the one that they have just released. It's called Heaven, right here on the Midday Cafe.
No more pain or misery, no more cares, we'll all be free from the troubles of this old life we've had. Just to think of all the joy, and with my loved ones I'll part no more, then he'll step down and embrace me in his arms. Heaven, what a sight to imagine, a place to spend forever with ones we love so. Oh, and Jesus will be there to
you by. He'll see you through. Give Jesus a try and see what he'll do. On him you can rely, 'cause he's faithful and true. He won't just get you by, he'll see you through. Now it's not always easy to follow his will, but he's never left me, so I'll follow still. And if you'll keep on trusting and hold to his hand, he'll see you through to that bright mansion land. He won't just get you by, he'll see you through. Give Jesus a try and see what he'll do. On him you can rely, 'cause he's faithful and true. He won't just get you by, he'll see you through. When through death's valley it's my turn to go, I don't have to worry, 'cause down deep I know, see it just doesn't matter how deep or how wide, 'cause I'm going through with Jesus my guide. He won't just get you by, he'll see you through. Give Jesus a try and see what he'll do. On him you can rely, 'cause he's faithful and true. He won't just get you by, he'll see you through. He won't just get you by, he'll see you through. He'll see you through.
This is WPAE 89.7 FM Centerville, Mississippi, and KPAE 91.5 Irwinville, Louisiana. Today's Southern Gospel and the new Journey Radio Network.
When we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be. When we all see Jesus of gold. Oh, when we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be. And when we all see Jesus, we'll sing and shout the victory. Come on, mama, sing it.
Oh, when we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be. When we all see Jesus, we will sing and shout the victory.
Oh, when we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be. And when we all see Jesus, we're gonna sing, we're gonna sing, we're gonna sing, we're gonna shout, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. We're gonna sing and shout, yes, the victory.
It is the Midday Cafe. Linda Randell, when we all get to heaven. We are 5 minutes after the hour. Good afternoon. Want to thank Terry once again for coming on the program. A lot of fun. I can tell he's just, he's a handful. We just need to pray for his wife. We need to pray for Wanda. Oh, Terry, I enjoyed that. That was great. So, yeah, I will. I'll have this interview uploaded on the website, and you can go back for those of you that missed it, and you wanna have a hoot and a holler good time. Yeah, he's something else. I'm telling you, I'll have it uploaded on the website here later this afternoon. Today'sSouthernGospel.com. Today'sSouthernGospel.com. It is where we are putting our. It's where I'm doing most of my live interviews, and they're being uploaded. I've got a couple that I'm working on behind the scenes, doing some special programs with it. I've got one that I'm doing, as a matter of fact, here in less than an hour. I'm going to be talking with Mark Bishop and having him on and recording an interview with him and doing some things with that. So, you know, the website is going to be really great. Plus, you've got Mike and his music. What he's doing and looking at all of the different projects that are coming out and giving you his take. So you've got Mike's music reviews on there, and you've got the interviews that I've been doing here on air. So again, today'sSouthernGospel.com, today'sSouthernGospel.com, and we'll have the interview here with Terry Kanipe. We'll have it loaded up here later this afternoon. It's going to be another great hour as we give you the most music. It is a warm, hot, sunny day right here across South Mississippi, Greater Baton Rouge. We are going to give you an update coming up here in just a few moments on your station for the best in today's Southern Gospel music.
You're listening to Steve Woodham on Today's Southern Gospel.
Therefore, you know not the day when the Lord shall call your soul away. If you're fighting, striving for the right, you shall wear a robe and crown. Watching, therefore,
closing in. Standing at the water sure looks like the end. God was up to something the people didn't know. He'd rolled the tide and opened wide the ways to make a road. While everyone had doubted on the shore that day, I can just imagine hearing Moses say, I will not be shaken, I will not be moved. I'm gonna stand in faith and watch what the Lord can do. I'm holding to the promise that God is in control. I will not be shaken, no, 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 no. 3 boys in the furnace about to be thrown in, 'cause they wouldn't bow down, no, they wouldn't bend. The king gave the order, and in it they were thrown. The fire was hot, and they were shocked when they were not alone. This world still tells believers to deny his name, but by his power you will hear me say, I will not be shaken, I will not be moved. I'm gonna stand in faith and watch what the Lord can do. I'm holding to the promise that God is in control. I will not be shaken, no, 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 no. My hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness, and I won't be shaken. My hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness, and I won't be shaken. I will not be shaken, I will not be moved. I'm gonna stand in faith and watch what the Lord can do. I'm holding to the promise that God is in control. I will not be shaken, no, no, no. I will not be shaken, I will not be moved. I'm gonna stand in faith and watch what the Lord can do. I'm holding to the promise that God is in control. I will not be shaken, no, 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 no. I will not be shaken.
Sound Radio is your station for summer 2021.
Fan favorite.
You said it would be easy. Sometimes I'm gonna fall, and although he's there to catch me, there's still times I feel alone. I know he sees my failures and he still loves me anyway. When I get weak on my journey, he gives me the strength to stay. I'm down, but I'm not out. I'm hurt, but have no fear. I'll get up from here. I'm gonna get up from here. You may see my battle scars, my wounds and a broken heart, but it's not the end at all. I'm gonna rise above the fall. I've been looked at as a strong one, carried the weight for so long. I keep covering all the blemishes. I pretend there's nothing wrong. I've been hoping for a miracle, praying for a change, so I won't give up.
Midday Cafe, day 3. Rise above the fall, 16 minutes after the hour. Good afternoon. It is a hot day here across South Mississippi, Baton Rouge, and all parts in between, as we are still expecting wonderfully sunny skies, hot conditions, still looking for that high to top out at around 95 degrees. Then for tonight, look for a 30% chance for showers and thunderstorms after 10 o'clock tonight. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies, our low dropping to 78. Then for Tuesday, another hot day on tap, as we can expect mostly sunny skies, hot conditions with a high of 95. Heat index values back up in the triple digits to around 107. Right now, we're kind of hanging steady at about 88 degrees, which for this time of day is really, really good, according to the National Weather Service. 88 degrees, fair skies.
Welcome to the Temple Treasury with Bob and Jay.
That's right, Bob. We're waiting for the rich man to arrive.
Boy, listen to that crowd roar.
Yes, the rich man is a favorite around here.
He and his servants are approaching the money bin. Wow, listen to that money pour in.
That's because he uses coins to emphasize how much he's giving.
Look, here comes the official judge's score.
What? I don't believe this. He scored 0?
The crowd's not happy at all about this one. Oh, wait. There seems to be an elderly woman approaching the money bin.
I think she's the widow that lives near here. She sure doesn't bring much fanfare.
Actually, I don't think anyone's aware she's down there. She's dropping in what seems to be 2 silver coins.
No, Bob, those are copper coins.
Pennies? She's only giving pennies? Oh, wait, the judge is giving her a score.
A 10? What she gave barely compares to the rich man.
Boy, that judge must have a different standard than we do.
When it comes to what you give to God, how do you score? Another message from Lifeline Productions, located on the web at lifelinepro.com.
Are there things in your life that aren't going as you wish? Is there sin in your life that's unresolved? One book above all others can help with that. Did you know that a recent study found that 88% of all households in the U.S. own a Bible? When's the last time you opened your Bible? Regardless of your answer, Jesus loves you and wants to be in your life. If you're ready to learn what following Jesus is really all about and experience His love and forgiveness, call 888-NEED-HIM or go to chataboutjesus.com.
We do have some accidents I need to make you aware of at Cedar Crest Avenue and Airline Highway. Now, that accident is off of the roadway. We have another one at Bluebonnet Boulevard and Anselmo Lane. Bluebonnet Boulevard and Anselmo Lane. And then we do have another accident that is off the roadway as well at Town Center Boulevard and Old Hammond Highway. Again, Town Center Boulevard, Old Hammond Highway. Looking at traffic cams across the area, not a lot of traffic as we have normally seen this time of day throughout this Monday. Traffic is moving along quite well, though, and people are trying not to stay on the interstate any more than they have to on the major throughways, as warm as it is. Not very much traveling going on, but the traveling that is happening is looking good. Everybody's doing a great job of keeping it safe, practicing their social vehicular distancing, but just keep it right here. We will keep you informed should that situation change right here at your station, giving you the very best in today's Southern Gospel music.
You're listening to Steve Woodham on today's Southern Gospel.
Lord, won't you do a new thing? Use me like you never have before. I've seen the tried and true things, made me want to serve you even more. Well, I want to let my light shine so everyone can see and be the kind of witness that you would have me be. Just like you told Isaiah, Lord, say you'll do a new thing in me. I've walked with you for years now, and I've seen some victories in my time. Lord, I want to move some mountains. I know you'll take me higher if I trust you to help me climb. Lord, won't you do a new thing? Use me like you never have before. I've seen the tried and true things, made me want to serve you even more. Well, I want to let my light shine so everyone can see witness that you would have me be. Just like you told Isaiah, Lord, say you'll do a new thing in me. I need a fresh anointing. Lord, make me strong and make me bold. I want to do your will, Lord, so fill me with your love and send revival to my soul. Lord, won't you do a new thing? Use me like you never have before. Well, I've seen the tried and true things, made me want to serve you even more. Well, I want to let my light shine so everyone can see, be the kind of witness that you would have me be. It's just like you told Isaiah, Lord, say you'll do a new thing in me. Just like you told Isaiah, Lord, say you'll do a new thing in me. Well, I wanna let my light shine so everyone can see, and be the kind of witness that you would have me be. And just like you told Isaiah, Lord, say you'll do a new thing in me. Just like you told Isaiah, Lord, say you'll do a new thing in me. Say you'll do a new thing in me. Say you'll do a new thing. Oh, say you'll do a new thing in me.
It's time for your encouraging verse for your day, brought to you by Truck Stuff USA and Outdoor Power Equipment. Your verse today comes to us from the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 13. And we also thank God continually because when you received the word of God, which you heard from us, you accepted it not as human word, but as it actually is, the word of God, which is indeed at work in you who believe. That's your encouraging verse for your day. Coming to you from 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 13.
Author Max Lucado reminds us that God didn't call us to be anyone else,
but calls us to be the person whom He made for His purposes.
89.7 and 91.5 Sound Radio, home of today's Southern Gospel.
Fan favorite.
Does anybody here want to have a little church today? Does anybody here want to lift your hands and praise? Does anybody here want to testify? Shout to the Lord and let out a cry. Does anybody here want to have a little church today? Come on, sing it, y'all. Does anybody here want to have a little church today? Does anybody here want to lift your hands and praise? Does anybody here want to testify and shout to the Lord and let out a cry? Does anybody here want to have a little church today? Does anybody here want to hear a choir sing? Does anybody here want to give an offering? Does anybody here want to shake some hands, hug some necks, and see an old friend? Does anybody here want to have a little church today? Does anybody here want to sing Amazing Grace? Old rugged cross and nothing but the blood can save. When we all get to heaven and they call that roll, much from God. Come down to the altar and be lifted by His love. Down at the cross is where we'll be set free. Burdens are lifted at Calvary. Does anybody here want to have a little church today? I'd rather be than in the house of the Lord. Does anybody here want to have a little church today? Let's all come together in one accord. No place I'd rather be than in the house of the Lord. Does anybody here want to have a little church today? Does anybody here want to have a little church today?
It is the Midday Cafe, Christian Crossroads. Anybody here want to have a little church? 27 minutes after the hour, 28 minutes after the hour, depending on whose clock you look at. Okay, bottom of the hour. So here's what's going to happen. Bottom of the hour, we're going to lose our Sound Radio family, 89.7 and 91.5 FM Sound Radio, home to today's Southern Gospel. We're going to be cutting you over some great biblical teaching from the Word of God. However, we're also going to be cutting over our New Journey Radio Network family back to New Journey, because I have got to get set up and ready to talk with Mr. Mark Bishop, and going to be recording an interview. And if you tune in tomorrow morning, who knows, I might play a little bit of it, just kind of tease you about what we talk about. So I need to get set up for that, because we are working on Mark's time scale and time frame, and so I want to make sure that I am not on the air and can't talk with Mark like I need to. So everybody, at the bottom of the hour, we're going to be cutting you over. I will be back in the morning, 6 o'clock, for Southern Gospel Sunrise. Tune in, and you never know, you may hear some really cool things from our conversation with Mr. Mark Bishop. Go out, make it a great afternoon, stay cool, try and keep hydrated. Join me back here in the morning, 6 a.m., Southern Gospel Sunrise. Until then, everybody, I will see you then. God bless.
George A. Buttrick said, "We need to deliberately call to mind the joys of our journey. Perhaps we should try to write down the blessings of one day. We might begin, we could never end. There are not pens or paper enough in all the world."
Helping you recall the blessings of life every day.
This is today's Southern Gospel, 89.7 and 91.5 FM.
The earth shook in agony, the rocks split in pain. The sky abandoned light as the Lamb of God was slain. Creation wept in sorrow when the Maker breathed his last. A sacrifice of love to bridge the canyon sin had cast. But oh, he is alive again. Hell is trampled, the battle is done. Messiah